Hello, good morning. Testing, testing. All right, we're good. Okay, let's look at what happened last night. Let's move, close that one. Don't need that. 5-minute charts, recaps, forecasts. All right, gaps. Okay, VIX on 6. It sounds good. Um, all right, so what are we looking at here? What happened overnight? A little bit of a grind up. Yeah, we got the 15 roll, kind of trolled out, was giving what I would think is almost indicator reset, price grinding higher. I would have taken this long, I believe. Consolidating over the top down anchor, already got the back test, broke it, all that. And now looking like it was doing kind of an indicator reset, right? Made a higher low here, we made a lower low on the Mac. I mean, it was definitely. I think this stuff makes sense. I would have expected though, once this finally crossed up, to go into a nice breakout and trying to grind them out. But now we finally did actually make a lower low, and the MACD's crossed down. So it did, didn't really follow through on the force up. Um, and let's see where we're at. We're sitting above this the zero line, or you could say, I mean, 100 line, really. Either whichever way you fib it. And we're sitting right under this 161 of this recovery fib here. Um, on the Qs and the SPY, we are starting at the top of this bear hammer here, where we're still in reasonable range, volatility, or range, I suppose, whatever the Bollinger Bands measure. I only use these for a specific setup, but whatever they measure, they're kind of squeezing, condensing, getting smaller. So that is potential signal for, just decreased volatility. But I would figure at this point it's time to kind of finally break out. SPY, we're now starting above the 5-day moving average. That's something. And we're starting right on about the 10, so a little bit of a safety zone. If I look at the NQ, we had this follow through green day. This red day turns out that that buying at the end of the day on this Wednesday dump was strong enough to push us out. If I look at the weekly, we're starting a lot of green weeks in a row. Um, but yeah, I mean, on the daily, we're now above this 261 strongly. We're between the 5 and the 10, just about. I mean, ES just needs a little pop to get above. So I mean, it's looking bullish, but of course you got to wait for the pullbacks. Let's hit this 30-minute chart with the anchors. So we've got a buy signal technically, right? And I have these buy signals. These all the way down here were never even touched. I'm gonna get rid of. Well, I'll keep that one on. I mean, that's eventually when we come down to tag that. That'll probably be a good support. So I'm gonna make these green for the last buy signal. Oh wait, that wouldn't even actually be the last. Make these purple. Okay, and then make these green for that previous buy signal. Let's do it here, the candle that started the gap up. Green here. Okay, and now let's do the current buy signal, so the actual low, and then some continuation. It's really not much here. I mean, we flipped into this light little buy signal. Um, really nothing too crazy, right? And then these Qs, let's get rid of all that stuff. Let's make the corresponding anchors on the Qs here. This 15. So what do we have here? We've got a low anchor here, and then here, right? And then we've got our other low anchors. Perfect. get another one here that's just about right. Yeah, actually, I like that one for the Qs. And okay, so that makes these zones here. And then lastly, I mean, could do that yellow one there. I'm not too worried about that. Let's go put this here. A buddy who watches these, you're probably going to be the only buddy that watches them. But look at these zones. It says I got to up my tone. So you know what? I changed up my routine habit. Thank you, Dell. Changed up my routine. So I start my day with more exercise and less sitting and looking at day jobs. That was getting me stressed and lethargic. Because right, I'm trying to solve a bunch of stuff first thing in the morning. My day job, I'm basically a fucking chief executive problem solver. um, anyway, so we're looking at here now. We're getting a pop. We got the cross up on the 5, and let's think about what we're gonna do. I mean, I think we are in liquidity building, which I've been kind of saying, saying that here, right? And then we finally popped out faster than I thought. Let's get rid of these highlighters, and now we're consolidating near the top of this trend line. If I kind of compare it to this day, I mean, this could easily be sort of this here. And then we get up here, we start grinding, right? Big pop, pull back, grinding the consolidation. We could dump back down to targets of on the NQ, the 10 and the 5, to make like the head. Then we could easily pop back up or whatever the heck the market wants to do. We could come all the way down near the 10. If I go over to the 30 charts, we can see these SMAs coded in the dots. We got the daily SMAs in the dots here. Um, the these anchors from this previous buy signal where I think there would be some reasonable support at, I mean, right, the top area here, right near the 20. So we could come down, kind of cycle these moving averages, test the 20. The Qs would be testing the 5 and the 10. That's very reasonable. It could easily snap all the, I mean, Qs does whatever it wants. That would be a pretty nasty day, though. That'd be super nasty day. I'm not totally expecting that, right? Um, Still looking at this 261. What did I say yesterday? They would probably come back and test this 2618 again. So that's something I don't really think we're going to get above it. So I suppose you could say I'm bearish, um, kind of on the day leading. Um, but if I look at which aligns, that's kind of aligning with my Mac here on the hour, getting that cross down. The Mac on the 15 now just getting kind of a random pump. I think ultimately I don't see a huge move coming this day. I think we kind of have to digest. I mean, I think we could, if we see a huge move, I would be a bit surprised. I mean, I think this huge dump and now this pump all the way back to above the range here kind of needs to be digested. I would imagine this kind of gets followed through with bullishness, right? But then on the hourly, I'm looking at a downside MAC. On the 15, I'm looking at a slightly downside MAC, even regardless of this giant pop candle. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking to make this kind of short, so I'll wrap it up. But I think today is probably going to be range-ish. I'm going to be a bit liquidity grabbing. I think a back test here, I would be longing it. Back test down. So what was that ES? I mean, if we get down like 4 or 5 points on ES, I'd probably be looking for a long there. For now, I think I'm looking for short. If I look at the dashboard here, that 4 spread up, switch that to 2 real quick, getting a little bit of downward slope. That 1 is crossed down and kind of spreading. And for the 1 to spread, we talked last night about how MACDs are fractal. For the 1 hour to spread open, we're going to need that 30-minute and that 15-minute to kind of stay down. So maybe we get a little reset here on this 5 cross up. So this is the 2, bottom right, 5, 15, 30, 1, 4, right? Fractal nature. And then I go in a cycle of these MACDs. But right now the 2 is kind of spreading up. So if we get some pumping on the 2, maybe come up to like these areas, Then we could see some flattening, maybe pops back and forth, but then ultimately, if this 15 then comes up and kind of rejects, do I have this magnet on? That's whatever. If the 15 comes down, ultimately kind of rejects that, starts heading back down, then this could maybe come up a little bit, but spread down, and then this could get the spread that I'm thinking there. Um, so that's possible. I mean, we could just see a rip out grind. Oh, come on now. Could see a rip out grind. You gotta, the reason I say these always, you could see this, you could see that, is because you never really know what is going to occur, and the market can do whatever it wants to build enough liquidity. So what this kind of tells me here, actually, this right here, is that people are kind of maybe expecting this force up. So then it failed. Like enough buy orders generated here that it failed, but not enough people were expecting it to dump on down. But then eventually enough people were expecting that it got ripped back up to the upside, and here we are at this 168 um, on the cues from this pump. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking for bearishness here, but in the end, I'm taking mostly scalps. So I'm going to be following the MACD, following is my yeah, following these Macs, following some of these anchors here. I mean, we're now all the way at this top anchor, zero top, and I would be expecting a back test of this anchor live. So I think that, oh, come on now. So I think that would have, we don't really need a back test of this anchor live, but I will put it there. But yeah, I think no matter what, this will kind of come back down to this range, and then we'll see what happens. I don't really trade for the first um, little bit. I don't trade for the first, I look to not trade for the first 10, 20 minutes. I'll take the scalps and the setups there, but then my like long-term trade, my bit of a swing, I take around 10, which usually works out like yesterday or Friday at 10. You could have started looking short here and rode the whole thing down after that scam pop up. Not a scam, but so yeah, I mean, looking shortish, but not looking to get squeezed. Gonna follow the MACD. I think this 2618 is gonna be super important. I think we're probably going to get it, even if we're going to squeeze, I think we'll get a back test of that before we squeeze. On the ES and SPY, I'm looking for that 20 daily moving average back test for the support right down here, so really not that far away. So, I mean, I'm looking for a bearish day, but at the same time, this pre-market is crazy bullish. I mean, well, not crazy, crazy bullish. So I'm definitely going to have to be careful, and I'll have to reassess at 10. That's going to wrap it up. 13 minutes, definitely enough. And I'll be back later with a recap.